Okay, let's look at qualifications and certifications. Now, that's typically a section that will come after your experience, depending on how you're laying things out, after your education, or you might include it in the education section, right? It's down to you. You can have a separate header that says qualifications or certifications if you wish. Again, it's down to looking at how your profile looks. You could include this in your education section. Doesn't matter. You can break it out. Okay. Now, why I'm saying it doesn't matter is just you choose how. There is limited convention here, right? Typically, our qualifications and certifications are at the end. They're after experience, after education, and that's you're just showing you've got this, you've got that, you've got this, right? Now, in some cases, those qualifications are right at the top of the CV because they are defining you explicitly. It might be a finance or an accountant qualification, a legal qualification, something to do with medical. They're like, so it's really important and it defines you and your career perfectly fine. Stick it at the top, right? Often that's in your introduction. It may also be evidenced in your name and then the kind of the letters afterwards. You may want to expand your summary, your 1 or 2 line summary to say, and I am, or include qualified in blah, 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 right? Because that's something that really matters, okay? Now, having said that, it's perfectly fine to then go into the detail down below, right? So when you said you're ACA or whatever qualified, you can go down and you can give the detail, right? Whatever the employer is expecting to read. Often it's just about qualifications, right? It might be PMPs, the project management certification, right? Often you'll see in job specifications, it'll say, oh, please, it would be great if, or PMP required, or PMP expected, or PMP would be advantageous, right? Okay, that's where you're making sure that they're looking. Now, again, when it comes to qualifications and certifications, in some cases, it's flexible. What I mean by that is that they might say MBA required. Now, if you don't have an MBA, you've had the chance here to submit your CV and you show how amazing you are. And if in an education or a qualifications section there is no mention of MBA, they may still call you, right? Because sometimes those things are flexible and we don't know. MBA, is that a qualification? Probably. Should that go in experience? Probably, possibly, but I want, look, there are so many different types of qualifications and certifications. I wanted just a separate section, right? So do as you're seeing fit, okay? But don't forget to make sure to list out any qualifications or any certifications, typically certifications, right, that you've taken that you're really impressed by, that add additional value. So a project management certificate, an agile project management certificate, or dealing with people, or leadership this, or so-and-so here, right? And this is where you can go shopping, right? And go and find some really interesting courses that you want to have in your CV. Now, when I'm doing one-to-ones, I'm sometimes saying, look, what would you like to put here, right? What is it weak? Do you feel it's weak based on what you're seeing and feeling in market? And if the candidate says, yeah, I say, okay, well, what do you want? What do you aspire to? I need to get the project man. Okay, so fine. Okay, so go and get that. What else? Well, I'd like to get something that says I'm good at leadership. Cool. Go and look. Let's go and look. Let's find something, a qualification, a 6-week course, an online this or whatever that shows you're good at leadership. Okay, what else? And that's where you'll be listing this down simply in bullet point order, right? Be sensitive. Sometimes I see it where the individual starts talking about some of the LinkedIn courses they're doing. I don't know how well they can come across, right? Yes, so Udemy, etc. By all means, list these, but make sure that someone is going to look at it with credibility. So any qualifications or certifications that you want to put in, I'm expecting just to see a list. Okay, it can go in your education section, or sometimes you see people will pull it out. They'll say education, and then they'll say certifications. You choose. I don't think there's a wrong approach here. And typically it's just bullet points. You can, if you wish, list or link to the Credly or the link that shows you have been given that qualification from the institution. You can do that as well as if you wish. But typically I want the name, the thing, what certification is it, and then who or what was the organization, right, if appropriate. Now, the project management, the PMP certification is, I think you just say project management. You can just spell it out. You don't necessarily have to say where you got it from. If anybody cares, they'll ask, and then be prepared to evidence it. Or you can show them the link. You can put the link in the CV. Okay, let's move on.